Right, here we go with something new for all of you. We're going to start a few videos about Doric. Now Doric, for us here in the northeast of Scotland, is the local dialect. And it's used quite a lot, especially here in the village.
And the place where we are is called, well, Aberdeen in standard English, but in Doric this place is called Aberdeen.
And I was born in Aberdeen, and therefore people out here in the village in Aberdeenshire call me a toonser. And then you know I'm a toonser because of some of the things that I say. But if you're not a toonser, if you're nae a toonser, and you live in the country, you're a
Tuchter.
A tuchter.
Oh my god, yes, it looks like that. And
So I'm a toonser and he's learning tuchter.
Tuchter. So if you're fae the country, you're a tuchter. Okay. Fae means from.
And the first thing we thought we would do is talk about how you greet people. When we go up to the village, I should say the village is only about 3,000 people. So if we go up to the village, to the square, to go to the shops or whatever, we will often walk along a path which goes behind the houses here and see people, and they always greet you.
Well, 99%.
Yes, yes. If they're on the phone, they don't, obviously, or if they're just a bit weird, they don't. But most people greet you. And when we first came here, we used to think, have I met you before? Do I know you? Because I wasn't used to this. So the standard greeting, obviously, there are things that are standard English, and there are English people in the village as well, and they're very welcome. And they will say morning or good morning. Sometimes they say hi. But the local greeting.
Well, if you're from, did you say Aberdeen City? Then you would say fit like.
Yeah, in Aberdeen City we say fit like, which means how are you? But they also say this other one in the city, because I generally say it when I meet people here. I say aye aye.
But I think that one is kind of reserved for owl folk, mainly.
Like me?
Especially when they're greeting a
Other
fellow
owl.
owl.
Yes.
Manny or
Yes.
owl wifey.
If I walk along the road there and I see an old man, I generally say aye aye, and he'll say the same to me. And by the way, Shaomin just mentioned two words which are quite important, really. Sometimes you meet an almani, an old man, or an alwifey, an old woman. But if they're nae almanis or alwifeys, there might be loonies or QUINIEs, which means
young men and young girls.
Yes. And quite often the greeting depends on them. But if you say fit like, generally people will say
nae bad.
nae bad. Or sometimes they'll say nae bad ava, which means not bad at all.
Or they might say chavinawa if they're working hard, you see.
Yes.
Chavinawa.
Yeah, they're struggling on. It's been a struggle, but we're chavin awa, that sort of thing.
And if you're really, really, really old-fashioned, I've not heard this for over a decade now. I think it's dying now, which is a shame. But if you're really old-fashioned, you might ask each other, "Who's your cushy doos?"
Mm-hmm.
And that literally means, "How are your pigeons?" Who's your cushy doos? So that dates back from the pigeon racing time, is it? When people
Or just
used to
pigeon
rearing.
rearing, yes.
And the reply is, "Who's your cushy doos, Douglas?"
I don't know, what do I reply?
I pecking. They're still alive. They're still pecking away.
Yeah, I forgot about that, yes. It's funny how the things that have come back to me now that I'm living up here suddenly just click. So we're going to mention two words, and we're going to ask you to think, what do you think these mean? Because one of our doctors is a tuchter and often uses words which I immediately understand, although I don't necessarily say them. But for Shaomin here, he's just tickled pink.
Well, here, let's give them a bit of the background before we give them the word.
Okay.
I was going to the doctor.
Don't say too much.
And she said to me,
SHUGGLE.
"Shuggle," like that. Shuggle your...
Just SHUGGLE. It can be used in other senses as well. And then I saw the same doctor, and again I won't give you the context because it might give away what the word means, and she said, "Just CLART it on."
We won't go into what it refers to yet.
No, because again it can refer to other things as well. So the words are, what was the first one?
Shuggle.
SHUGGLE and CLART. When we do the next video, we will explain and put them in context, give you example sentences. But in the meantime, how do we say goodbye here?
Cheerio. Cheery bye.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, and I should also say, we forgot at the start, there's a way of saying hello, especially if you're speaking to animals or to people you haven't seen for a while. You say,
"Hello?" It has to be that intonation and that pitch.
and it always makes you laugh, doesn't it?
It does. You hear that all the time in the supermarket because it's, well, I suppose it's a close-knit community, so people bump into, people regularly.
And they say, "Hello." And I used to say that to the cat because I liked her. Right, shall we stop there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's enough for you to think about. Remember, what does SHUGGLE mean? What does CLART mean?
The big reveal will be in the next episode.
Don't check your dictionary.
Cheerio.
Bye.